must be wondering why we're dressed like this today. I requested Spartacus and Enchantra to come out today dressed in sackcloth.
We have a question for you. Would you come out for lunch with us if we were dressed like this?
We have a question for you. Would you come out with us for lunch if we were dressed like this?
Really, that's our question to you. Would you come out for lunch with us if we were dressed like this? That's a good thing to think about. Name 2 people or 5 people who'd come out with you for lunch if you were dressed like this.
Mystica and Enchantra.
Those are his sisters. Lucky you. Who would go out with you?
My 2 best friends?
Your 2 best friends. You sure they'd go out with you like this?
Probably.
I think the only person in the world who'd come out with me dressed like this in sackcloth is my mom. I cannot think of anybody else. What do you think people think? What would people think of me if I went out like this onto the streets of Panjim?
They would all stare at you and talk.
They'd all stare at me and then?
And talk behind your back.
And talk behind my back. That's a smart boy right there. What do you think? What would they think?
They probably would think you were poor.
For sure, they think I'm poor. The other thing that I'd probably think they'd do it, they'd ask me if I was gone out of my head. I think close friends would be like, are you okay? Do you have a fever? But we have a lot of people and a lot of customs around the world that are weird for us, but not so weird for them. Like chopsticks. You know, the first time I remember I saw people eating with chopsticks, I was like, what's that? Why are they using sticks to eat their food? Till I realized that chopsticks was an Asian, food eating utensil. I mean, it's something that they always have used for years and years and years. Do you then remember something weird that you thought that people were doing it weirdly, but it was normal for them?
The huge piercings in the Africans' mouth.
Yeah, they have these huge piercings in their lips and in their ears, like that big. Yeah, I thought that was weird, but that's so normal to them. What about you, Spartacus?
People texting while walking.
Ha! That's a good one. You know, they walk like that, and you kind of don't know if they're walking or texting. Yeah, that's quite weird, but isn't it very normal?
For some people.
Yeah, for some people. What else? Oh, I remember, you know, like, say a business card, Hai Win Knees from Taiwan, people would kind of look at it like they were giving you an atom bomb that would explode. So they'd be like, and you're like, why are you putting so much of effort in a business card? Or money. When they give you money, they'd be like, yeah, but it's normal for them. They think it's respectful. Anything else that you think is absolutely weird, but it's normal for people?
People eating with their hands, like putting their hands in the food.
For some people, that's not normal at all, but for, me, that's very normal. So I eat like that. Yeah.
I eat with a spoon.
It's normal to have differences. What about you?
I eat everything.
Yeah, okay. So just the way that you dress or the way that you eat or what you eat does not define who you are. The entire world is full of different people who have different choices. Do you think people in the desert will be wearing so much of wool on their body? It'd be so hot. Or people in Antarctica wearing bikinis. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Or swimsuits. It's cold out there. Or, people eating with forks in a place where they don't know what it is. That would be weird too. What's normal for us sometimes is not so normal for people around. Can you think of one person who you thought was very weird but then turned out to be very sweet? Can you think of anybody who you thought, wow, that's weird? And then
My new friend.
your new friend.
No, not new friend. He was my friend like long ago, but first time I saw him, I thought he was weird.
Okay, what did he do weird? Do you remember or just a feeling?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. Okay. But now he's a good friend, yeah?
Yeah.
The weirdness has gone away. What about you?
When I first met my best friend,
Okay, you thought weird?
we were playing a small game where you have to act like you're in a house. And it was really weird.
Okay, like playing house was weird at one point of time. I agree to that. I met this person who liked collecting dolls. And I know, girls like dolls, but I was like, that's so weird for a boy to collect dolls. And I was like, ha ha ha, you're so silly person. But that was wrong also. We cannot judge people on the hobbies they have, on the clothes they wear, on the food they eat. The best example for this is in the Bible, and he's a man called Saint John the Baptist. Do you know what we're wearing today is somewhat like what he roamed at that point of time when people were wearing long robes and royal clothes and gold and silver. He used to wear camel skin. He'd kill a camel or probably find a dying camel, rip the skin off and wear camel skin. Would you fancy camel skin as clothes? No? Would you?
It would be so itchy.
No, it would be so itchy. Something like what we're wearing right now. So yeah, he'd wear camel skin and he'd only eat wild honey and locusts. Could you make friends with someone who'd eat insects all the time? No. Would
I
you?
would, because you should never judge a book by its cover.
You should never, oh my God, he just said that, that's true. You should never judge a book by its cover. So hence here we are, we're going to be learning today about Saint John the Baptist. And the more people got to know about him, the less weird he got. But at first, weird was the name. He used to wear different clothes, he used to live in the desert, and he used to eat crazy food. And we're going to get dressed and come back for, of course, the craft and get ahead with the story of Saint John the Baptist. 1, 2. Well, we're back and it feels better to be in my clothing, in myself. Wasn't it a little itchy?
It was very itchy.
Was it a little?
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it, but yeah, we were trying to dress differently and, well, we tried. For now, let's get to our craft. Can we have the materials, Spartacus?
We have A4 size paper.
Yes, you're going to need a couple of A4 size white paper. Just trying to fly away.
2 pairs of scissors.
2 pairs of scissors. There we go.
Sketch pens.
Sketch pens. You'll need lots of colored sketch pens. So get yourself a packet. Any sketch pen is fine.
And glue.
And Fevicol. There you go. Okay, so let's get right to it. There you go, Spartacus. That's yours. Chandra, that's yours. The first thing we're going to do, and this is like a little bit like origami, we're going to fold one corner of the paper into a triangle. There you go. Okay. This is how you actually cut a proper square in a rectangular paper. So the paper is rectangle when you started off with. You fold one end to make it into a triangle. So you can see a triangle. You then fold this rectangular piece over it. Right about there. So you get a crease. So you'll get a paper that looks like this. An A4 size paper, first fold into a triangle, then fold the top. We're going to then cut away this rectangular piece on top. So take a pair of scissors and cut this right away. There you go. You're going to need both these pieces of paper, so just stay right onto it. There you go. You're going to cut the side piece off. So you have a triangle and a rectangle. We're going to again go ahead and make a square out of this. So you fold your paper into half and then you cut off another square. There you go. And you do the same with the remaining paper. So you're going to have 3 squares. So this is what you're going to have. 1 big triangle and 2 small triangles. When you open it out, it's going to be 1 big square and 2 almost equal small squares. Yes. So you cut this and you get another one. Perfect. That's very neat and gentle.
Thank you.
Very nice. For now, this little piece of paper that's remaining, you keep it aside. We're going to need it right towards the end. But for now, we're just going to need these 3 squares. All right, Spartacus is with us. Why don't you come this side, Spartacus? All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of paper and turn it first of all into a triangle. Hold it like a triangle in front of you. You can keep this here. Keep away the 2 other squares, just this triangle. Now, I want to mark something for you. So this is the center of the triangle, correct? This is the center of the triangle, here. You have to go a little further than the center. A little further, just a little further. So if this is the center, this is the center. You go a little further than the center and you fold like this. Just a little further than the center. Can you try that? Perfect. Nice. Okay. You keep it back on the paper. You keep it back flat. You open the paper and now you've got like a triangle over here. Correct? This is very important. You fold in and you fold out. You fold in and on the line that you had, you fold out. So this is how it's going to go. You fold in and you fold out on the crease. You're going to get something like this. Do you have that? Yay! Okay, perfect. Yay, well done. Okay, there you go. Now, fold the paper again. So this is what it's going to look like. Starting to look a little different, is it? There.
Looks like a bird.
Looks like a bird. Yeah, other way. Oh, that's, yep, if you put it like this, probably like a bird. But here. Oh, perfect. Now what we're going to do is, again, remember, you touch the tip that's over here, right open, to the top. There. What I've done is I've taken the tip that's right here and I've touched it to the top. There you go. And you fold right on. Perfect. Both sides? Both sides? Okay, we got that? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this part of it, the open part of it, like this. What I'm doing is over this triangle, I am folding another triangle, but a more finer one touching this part. So you've got here what you folded, you've got the 2 flaps here, and this is where you're going to put another fold like this. You can touch the top,
Like
you
this?
can, yes, like that. You can make it big if you want, you can make small if you want. I'm going for a small one. Spartacus has gone for a big one. Spartacus, can you show them? Oh, Enchantra is also making a small one. Spartacus has gone for a big one. Nice. Can you see that? Spartacus is touched right on top. Perfect. Spartacus, the other side also. So it looks something like this. I know it looks a little bit weird, but we're on the way to finishing it. Give a little bit more patience. So we took a square piece of paper, we folded a triangle in, we made a crease, we folded it out, we folded the 2 flaps on, and now we folded this little thing right here. Okay, now you have to hold it right about like this. Can you hold it in between your fingers like this? This facing you, like this. All right. So you've got here 1 flap here, you've got 1 flap, 2 flaps here, so there's 2 flaps here and 2 flaps here, and you've got a triangle here. I want you to take the triangle in your finger, in between your fingers, and pull it down, like that. Can you see? Like twing, 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 twing. Pull it down.
Like this?
Not right down. You're holding, yeah. So we're going to help Spartacus here. You're going to hold this. It was up, right?
Yeah.
You take it a little lower and you fold it like that. So there it is. I'll show you how it's done. You hold it with your fingers nice and firm. You pull it a little lower and you press. There you go. Yay! That's what we're talking about. There, can you see that? And now we're going to go in for the final move. Are you ready? Just below this triangle that you moved, there's a small little triangle here. Can you see that one? Right here. Okay. We're going to now fold it upwards like that. And another one upward like that. Yes. Perfect.
So on both sides?
Yes, on both sides. Perfect. Give this a little bit of a bend, this top one, a flap here and a flap here. Good. And the final thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this little thing that we made and we're going to keep it flat and then put it on top of it like that. Before you stick it, you have to check if it's through. So it's a crease and a crease. Just keep it flat. This is just to give it a little bit of strength. You're not doing anything with it. You're just keeping this like this and you're keeping this flat on the surface. Just to make sure you've got all right. So you first keep it like this. Okay, so this is standing and then you place it on top. Okay, so here it is. Can you see that? Okay, so there are lots of folds. If you haven't got it as yet, hold on. We'll show it to you all over again. But for now, this is what it looks like. Okay, what do you think this is going to become? Any idea?
If this is going to be kept like this, it will look like a grasshopper.
Correct! It is going to be a grasshopper. All the grasshopper needs. Do you know how many legs a grasshopper has?
4, 6, 10.
10. No, it's got 6 legs. The basic grasshopper. Well done. 6 legs. So we're going to have to put 6 legs onto this amazing body. And what we're going to do is, and you know what? A grasshopper is always told to be an insect that has this jacket like a tortoise shell. Turtle shell or tortoise shell. A grasshopper has a jacket just above his neck, so he looks like a man with a big tailcoat. A lot of cartoon characters are based behind a grasshopper that has a big long jacket because of the coat it has on. So we need to put 6 legs underneath this. What we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 triangles that we had. Can you see what I have? Okay, 2 triangles. And we're going to cut 1 triangle right there. So you've got 1, 2. Very nice. Right in the center. Very good. Very good. And then we're going to cut the next triangle also. So we're going to have 4 small triangles. We're going to have 4 small triangles right there like that. Can you see that? Wow. Oh, they look so pretty by themselves. Perfect. Can you see that? Okay. Now we cannot stick it just like this. We have to fold the triangles. Each triangle will have to be folded. So you take the tip of the triangle and you touch it to the base. There you go. And give it a fold. So it's going to look something like this. Each triangle needs to be done like that. I'll show it to you. This is how we're going to make the legs. You take the tip of the triangle, very good, and you touch it to the base and you fold it again. So it's going to look something like this. Perfect. Now you can decide exactly where you want to put your legs, but remember they need to stand flat on the ground like that. So I think I'm going to start with the tail first, and I'm going to put legs outwards. So it's going to be like this. You have to stick, okay? Remember, you have to take this and stick first the tail. So I want you to open your grasshopper. So this is what you have made. All right. You open it up. So you'll get a crease right in the center. Correct? Put the tail towards you on top. Tail upwards. Tail upwards. Perfect. We're going to take a little bit of glue and we're going to glue this to this. But remember, it needs to be outside like that, right at the tip of it. So here we go, you put it right on there. So that's the first foot. Then you, of course, have the second. When you're putting in the second foot, don't put it together. Put it one this way and one this way so that it stands firmly onto the ground. So you're going to be putting
Like this?
Yeah. The ones right at the back are going to come together. Great. The ones before that, or rather after that, are going to come separately. Can you see me? One here and one here. So you take some glue again. Two right here where the bend come in. This is a bend right here. You got to put on this bend. I'm going to cut my fourth one in half and I'm going to put two. You can put one if you want. I prefer putting two. So I'm going to put one here and one here. And there I have 6 feet. Grasshopper's feet are really long. If you want, you can put in long limbs or you can put wire, whatever you may please.
Like this?
No, so you cut it. You're going to cut the fourth one and you're going to put one on this side and one on that side. I'll show you where I'm putting it. We put the glue on and I'm going to put it on the outside, just where the bend is here. There you go. And again, a little bit of glue and where the bend is. What you do is, if your grasshopper is not standing, the easiest way is you hold it into your hands and press the feet onto the table, like so. You also put your hood on. It's time to put a little bit of a hoodie onto a grasshopper also. What I want you to do is, I want you to take, and this is something that you can try or you can ask your parents if you can't do it. You make 2 small, or rather thin, lines out of that piece of paper. So you get something like this. And then you take like a color pen. You take the tip of the paper and you just pull it. It'll get this little curl. I'm going to put some glue onto my paper. There you go. Before it goes back in, there you go. So I've put the glue on the inside of the paper. I'm going to slide it right in and I'm going to press. I'm going to do it, I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of a height. Again, I'll slide the paper in and press there. Can you see that? Okay, now it's time to color your grasshopper, and the only suggestion I can give you is make it brown or green, and do not color the entire surface. You just have to kind of draw lines. I'm going to use black first. Two of you can use brown or yellow if you want, and just paint in lines. So you'd paint something like that. You can use pencil colors. You can use sketch pens, crayons, name the color and you can use it. You can use mixed media. If you want, right at the start, you can use colored paper. That's easy to do too. But the first time you're trying the grasshopper, try and use a white paper. It gives you more clarity as to how to go about. So that I've colored the feet black, as you can see, just straight lines. Now I'm going to use a little bit of yellow and do the wings. For this, I'm going to keep the grasshopper flat on. Whenever you're painting something that you've just made in craft or put Fevicol to, keep it flat on the surface. Do not color the faces yet. I will tell you what to do for the face, just the wings in a different color. And we're going to use the magic colors, green. Some oil pastel colors. We're going to try and use oil pastel. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of brown from here. I'll show you how to do this. There's an oil pastel color. We're going to take brown and we're going to put it on the body. We're going to open the flap a little bit and we're just going to put straight lines in the body like that. I'm going to use some brown and put some eyes onto the grasshopper first. First brown. So you put 2 brown dots first. Then you take black, which is a great color, and you make a bigger dot over it, like that. There goes mine. Oh, that looks lovely. We need to get eyes and an antenna done. That is nice and rustic. I think that's the kind of locust that we were talking about in the Bible with St. John. But, yep, nice, rustic, and There you go. We need an antenna and eyes, my friend. So the season for grasshoppers, just when it's dusk and it's nice and wet and it's monsoon, they come out and they make a lot of yay creaking noises. Yes, that's what you do. You kind of just spread the feet out. Yay! 2 grasshoppers. They look nice. They look like friends. You have 3 flaps, and Enchantra has done it really well. She has clearly marked the body and, of course, the wings. So you've got 3 layers of wings, if you can see, nice and easy. And, of course, you've got a nice and happy grasshopper. You can make it green for sure, but that's, for normal people. We do it brown. So you can go ahead and use some green into it. So, Enchantra, would you ever eat a grasshopper?
I want to try.
You want to try it? That sounds fun. We have, many different cuisines. Asian cuisine that, of course, has a lot of, they eat ants, for sure. They deep fry ants. Would you like to try ants someday?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I ate an ant once.
You ate an ant once? Wow. Would you like to eat a grasshopper?
I don't like grasshoppers.
You don't like grasshoppers? Okay. How about spiders? I would get scared to eat a spider. Even worse. I get scared to eat a spider. Well, I'm not telling you to go ahead and eat what's in your house, like you just find a spider and put it in your mouth. No. It needs to be cooked, or it needs to be at least, cooked for sure by your mom. I don't think they're going to do that. But yes, when someone does something differently, we should not judge them. We should not say that they're not so normal. Well, we're going to put our lovely material away and be right back with you and tell you a story about someone who was different but not so weird.
Story of John the Baptist. Have you ever heard of John the Baptist? Here's a beautiful story about this biblical character. There once lived a man called Zacharias with his wife Elizabeth. They were good people and were very happy together. The only thing that made them sad was they had no children. God loved this beautiful couple, so one day he sent his angel to them. The angel told them that God would soon give them a son, and they should name him John. And soon the miracle happened. The couple was blessed with a beautiful baby boy.
When John was older, he moved to the desert and began to live there. He may have looked like an odd character, wearing clothes out of camel hair and eating locusts, but his heart was in the right place. John spent his time baptizing people in the Jordan River. He also taught people to confess their sins and ask God for forgiveness. One day, Jesus came to John and asked to be baptized. But soon, the Holy Spirit came in the form of a dove over Jesus and spoke from heaven. "This is my son, and I love him." John fell to his knees and cried tears of joy because finally the Son of God was here. The story of John the Baptist is an interesting Bible story for kids.
Well, the story of John the Baptist is a very interesting Bible story for kids. We're talking about someone who didn't really fit in. He would not wear clothes like the other people did. He did not eat even the same food that the other people did. And he lived in the desert. Yet God chose him to baptize his only son. He chose him to reveal his son to the world. And of course, John was very pleased. This just goes out to tell us and underline that people can have different cultures and different customs, wear different clothes and eat different food, but they can be chosen by God. And of course, God loves us all, irrespective of what we wear, what we eat, and where we live. So it's time for you to go ahead and check out on your friends. And if you're teasing them for being different, stop. They just might be the chosen ones from God. So keep watching, and we'll be right back with another episode of Tell Me a Story on CCR TV.